Welcome to the post-game show presented by Freeman Mazda, the Dallas Cowboys.
Freeman Mazda. What up?
Hey, you should have seen me last week when I did my part. You know, I'm going to get to I was like, I missed my boy, man. It's my part right here. We clowning because it's empty in this part, so we got this part to ourselves. But Cowboys get the victory, 21-6.
A very unimpressive, uninspiring victory, but a victory nonetheless.
It's a victory. It's kind of along the same lines of the last 3 weeks. Not as egregious as some of these other games, but they get the victory nonetheless. 21-6, move to 10-4. They end the 3-game road stand 3-0 with 2 divisional wins. So you love to take that. But before we get into everything, let me tell y'all about the Freeman Mazda post-game show that's presented by our guys over at Freeman. If you're searching or looking for a new, used, or Mazda-certified pre-owned vehicle in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, why not shop at Freeman Mazda of Irving, Texas, that has been a family-owned and operated business for over 60 years. They have new inventory arriving daily, especially for the new 2021 Mazda CX-6. And I have.
What do you have?
I have the Mazda 6, baby, and I feel good about talking about it. Even though there wasn't a ton of great drives in this game, there was enough to get the victory. But I have the Mazda 6. And I love it because it's kind of got that luxury look, luxury feel without the luxury price.
Your junk is sleek.
It's sleek.
It's very sleek. It's very sleek and stylish.
And it drive real smooth.
Yeah.
It's real smooth. I love it a lot, man. So stop by Freeman Mazda in Irving, Texas, or visit freemanmazda.net. Jesse Holley, Skywalker Still, here in the post-game show. Cowboys win 21-6, and another defensive dominating performance. Some history I would imagine is being made. I have to go look at the Cowboys PR thing here, but 3 games in a row with 4 turnovers for the Cowboys, which means there's 12 total turnovers in 3 freaking games.
And before we jump into the Cowboys and what they've done offensively and defensively,
go around.
Just take a quick trip around the National Football League. Right now, the Bills are up on the Panthers 31-14 with a minute 48 left to go in that game. That's pretty much over. Dolphins are up on the Jets 31-24 with a minute and 10 left. That game's pretty much Dolphins has the ball, so they'll probably nail this thing out after another first down. 43 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the fighting Pittsburgh Steelers, that's one thing I give about Mike Tomlin. Like, despite all the craziness, they're still fighting it. Right now, they're up 19-13 with the ball. 43 seconds left to go in the game against the Tennessee Titans. The Bengals and Broncos just kicked off, as well as Falcons-Niners. I guess the win of the day.
Upset alert.
Upset alert. The win of the day. No, it's not the Cowboys versus the Giants. But the win of the day, the Detroit Lions.
Not Detroit basketball.
No, not Detroit basket. No. The Detroit Lions hammered.
They whooped on them.
Hammered the once number 1 seed in the NFC, hammered the Cardinals 30-12 for the second victory of the year. Texans beat the Jaguars 30-16, and of course the Cowboys over the hated. Let's go with the hated. The hated New York. That was a very one word. The hated New York Giants 21-6, and here we are in the post-game show. We're gonna run through everything, man, and get you guys all of our takes, all of our thoughts about this team, this game, and where we're going forward.
I kind of want to run back to that Cardinals game.
Okay, let's go back.
Just to kind of put things in perspective here. 2 weeks ago, the Cardinals were the number 1 seed.
Yes.
Dallas is now tied for them. Actually jumped them. If I'm not mistaken, they're the 3rd seed in the NFC right now on a 3-game win streak, where the Cardinals have lost 2 games in a row. Will be without DeAndre Hopkins when they face the Cowboys in 2 weeks. We thought that game would have some number 1 seed implications, and it still could. But this could be a situation where the Cowboys get the victory. Well, if they get the victory against the Cardinals team, they stamp their at least number 3 seed, potentially number 2, win the division, all that good stuff, and you can rest somebody in Week 18. So big loss. I think that's a huge loss. And we were kind of talking during the game that, yes, you want to be flowing and have a rhythmic thing with your team and things like that. At the end of the day, it's about winning, right? And the NFL is a hard game, but what you don't want to do in the midst of trying to figure things out is be on a 2-game losing streak in December and lose to a Detroit Lions team. That would be equivalent to the Cowboys losing to the Saints a couple weeks ago. So not a good loss by them.
That's worse. Like, nothing is worse than losing to the Lions. Like, the only thing that's worse losing to the Lions is losing to the Jaguars.
Yeah.
At this point in time of the year.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot lose to the Detroit Lions. So you cannot lose to the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, no. So it was even more important for Dallas to come away with the victory. They didn't know what was going on, but it was more important for them to come away with the victory. It did not go the way we wanted, which was the whole get right game.
Yeah.
If there was one thing I will say about the offense in this game that is something positive to take moving forward, is that I did see it get in a better rhythm than it had been in the previous 3 games. They were way too herky-jerky till the last couple possessions. That was kind of similar to the
last week.
Washington game. But there was more of a rhythmic flow to it. But the main problem that I'll continue to keep hammering on the last couple weeks has been red zone. I believe, excuse me, guys, Jesse, if I'm on the right one here, I am not. Where were they in the red zone? 2 for 5? I'm sorry. I thought I had the team stats up here.
Yeah, let me go.
Here we go. 2
for 5.
2 for 5.
Yep.
2 for 5 in the red zone. That makes 3 for 11 in the last 2 weeks. That will not get it done against the top teams. So the offense needs to find its way down there in that red zone, man. I don't want to be Debbie Downer after a win, but that's kind of what we were talking about all game. Is they got there, but.
And the thing that we also seen in the last couple of weeks are red zone, and that's going to be pivotal. That is going to be so vital when you talk about going into the postseason. Not being able to score points, and you're facing the Packers at Lambeau, you're facing Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay or Kyler, the Rams. Like, not being able to score points in the red zone. It's one thing to be able to score points, but when you have 5 trips inside the 20-yard line and you only come away with 2 scores, when your defense has given you 4 turnovers.
I mean, it's been a theme.
And you said this, they had 4 turnovers in the last 3 games. And the Cowboys have struggled to put points on the board, to score points when you've been given short fields, extra possessions. That is so concerning to me. And then the other thing that's concerning to me is you can't close out games.
Yeah, that's 3 games in a row, three road games in a row that your offense has had a chance to just kind of put a stamp on, whether it be a touchdown, whether it be running the clock out, and they go 3, 4, 5, 6 plays and punt the ball.
Turn it over.
Or turn it over. What was that? I mean, I don't want to harp too much, but I don't understand from top to bottom. The call, the weird block, and then did Dak not feel Carter coming? Like, it all was a cluster F. I don't understand it. It's consistent to what happened last week. Almost
identical. Almost identical of what happened last week.
Yo, if they score, it's literally identical. But they didn't score, and
thank God Jake Fromm had to come in the game. No, Fromm was in the game by this point.
No, that was Glennon.
Oh, no, it was still Glennon. Because he turned around. Yeah, it was like, that's what we said. We said.
You were like, thank God it's Glennon.
No, literally, I said the bright point. Yeah. I said Dak turns the ball over. I said the bright spot about this situation right here, Mike Glennon gets the ball. Like, that is the bright spot. And 2 plays later, he gave it right back to us. So it's like, thank you, Lord, that Mike Glennon was the quarterback. Because the crazy part about it is, Kenny Galladay was actually behind.
Well, we got the broadcast view only showed 7 coming from. I don't know if he was still on him and he just came under him. I don't know what happened.
But my thing is, if you throw the ball towards the back of the end zone, you give him a better chance of making a play than what he did. Yeah. But nonetheless,
they could have scored.
They could have scored. We gave him we gave him an opportunity to make things way harder than it had to be with this situation. And the Cowboys are not finishing football games because
finishing may be the name of the game. Not finishing drives. And not finishing football games. That's the key word, buzzword I need to start putting for this week, y'all. Finish.
Now you're going to go back to the Jason Garrett. Are you going to get T-shirts like Jason Garrett had? Finish the fight?
I mean, they might need
Finish the fight.
They might need it, man. Now, one of the things that we were talking about that they brought up there on the broadcast was that the home and away discrepancy via red zone is drastic. They're number 2 in the red zone at home, and they're 30th in the league away.
Hello, Cowboys. You're going to have to go on the road. Like you'll get one playoff game at home because of being a division winner. But I'm sorry, you're gonna not only gonna have to go, you're gonna have to go on the road probably multiple games. And if that's the case for you, going to the Super Bowl or not going to the Super Bowl is you have to go on the road and you can't score in the red zone. We're in a world of trouble.
You're not going to win. You're not going to get to where we want to get to. And that's the Super Bowl, right? So yeah, and now this is maybe talk for the rest of the week. But I was saying these next 2 home games are going to tell me what this team. I guess we kind of know what it is, but what this team is heading into the playoffs. If they're the team at home that scores 33 and 46 and they're better in the red zone, then we know what they are. They're a team that can be at home, score points.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Today, right now at 3:20, what is this team?
They're a 10-4 team that's winning in December on the back of their defense, and they have an offense that really hasn't gotten together in the last 6 weeks.
Is that in your heart of hearts? I know I'm putting you on the spot, and football's fluid, so if he says whatever he says today, he can change his mind tomorrow. Do you think what you see right now from this football team, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely, 1 being, I don't really know. What is it? Where do you feel?
No,
1 being no. Where do you feel this team is at today as a Super Bowl contender? With what you've seen today, the way the football team, not projecting, not if we hope, if this happens, if Dak figures it out, and this, if we get better in the red zone, and not with all the ifs. Today, right now, how do you feel this team is, or where do you feel this team is right now on a scale of 1 to 10? Like I said, 10 absolutely, 1 hell no.
I'm not sure what number to put on
if being a serious Super Bowl contender.
I'm not sure what like getting out of AMC.
Super Bowl going to the Super Bowl,
right.
being in SoFi in February.
I don't know what number to put there, but I'll say they're the 3rd team in the NFC right now.
No, it's not what I.
Don't give me the number you want to put.
Don't give me the Michael Irvin answer. Don't give me.
We're talking about that.
Yeah, don't dance around.
I don't know
the question.
I think the question.
Like, how confident do you feel of this team?
Now that's a little bit different, because the question to the numbers, I didn't understand how to put it. I didn't understand how to put it. So my confidence level of the team being a Super Bowl contender from 1 to 10, at this point I'd say like a 6.
Okay.
Like a 6. But even better than a number ranking, I would want to rank them in the NFC, because you're saying getting out of the Super Bowl. I wouldn't rank them above Tampa. I wouldn't rank them above who's like
Green
Packers,
Bay.
the Green Bay. I would rank them above the Cardinals. I do think they're a better team than the Cardinals.
The Rams?
The Rams, I would put the Rams right there with us, or with them, whatever you want to call it. Right? I think they're kind of an equal team, but I wouldn't go higher than that. So if I had to put a number on my confidence level, I like that better, because I didn't know how to put it at first, would be a 6.
Okay.
And it's because the offense right now hasn't showed that it can be a Super Bowl offense, when I truly believe this is a championship front 7 that's complemented by, I think, a really good secondary. And I think we're seeing that. They're doing people are going to say, well, it's against quarterbacks. Well, they're doing exactly what you do against trash quarterbacks.
Right. You pick them off.
You whoop them.
Right.
You sack them. You get picks, 12 turnovers, right? But I've seen them go on the road and play well against other Qs. The problem is, in the playoffs, you're going to need your offense to follow much better than they have in the last 3 games. Let's say 3 games, because it's a December stretch. Yep. 3-0, which, great, awesome. We're 3-0. But we're looking kind of ahead, right? We're not really looking at this. The division's won.
Yes.
We got the division. The division's won. You're going to get a home playoff game. You're going to play one of these teams at home. Do I have confidence in the offense right now? How can I say I have a lot of confidence? What have they shown me?
Right.
They show me, this is what they show me. They can't close.
Yep.
They show me they have an inconsistent red zone, not even a bad red zone offense. And they show me that I don't know what to get from a schematic standpoint from game to game. That is, I don't want to use the word scary, but that is concerning.
It is very concerning for it to be that in December. Like, that's the concerning part to me, is all of these unknowns, all of these kind of helter-skelter, Jekyll and Hyde type situations for a team offensively when we're headed, like we're at Christmas. And at this point in time, there should be a much more sustainable idea of what like think about this. We watched this game today, right? We watched every single moment of this game today. And while the Cowboys while the Cowboys led from start to finish, there were so many moments in this game where you just like, dog, you know, they're like one play away from making this game. And then here's what happened. It began to get a little chippy, right? You start seeing the fights with Williams and Williams.
Saying, you got to make a play here or they'll make a play.
And that's the thing. And the blessing, honestly, the blessing of today is that the Giants had Mike Glennon.
Well, I'm gonna use
and Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm. Like that is the absolute, because anybody's
game ain't never feel like we weren't gonna win, though, Jesse. This reminds me of what you said about the Chiefs. You were saying the Chiefs never felt like this game was ever going to be out not in their favor. I felt that way this whole entire time too, though.
For me, I'll talk about me. For me, I didn't say that I didn't feel like the Cowboys were going to lose the game, but I did feel like,
it was annoying.
And I said it to you. I said football has been a dirty girl all year long, and she's been dirty to us at times. And all it takes is one crazy play, a bomb to Galladay or a fumble or something stupid. And I'm like, here we are looking up to a game. Then it began to get a little chippy, and they kind of like, the Giants kind of like was puffing their chest out. And then, like I said, I didn't feel like the Cowboys were going to lose it, but I didn't feel as confident as them. Like there wasn't enough confidence in me to be like, hey, I'm gonna walk off and go do something else.
Really?
No, it wasn't.
If it wasn't for my listen, I didn't. I'm just me. I never felt that this game was not going to be won. Even when the turnover happened, it was just more of an annoyance. Like, oh my gosh, now we gotta.
But the look that you gave me when they turned the ball over, you looked kind of.
I was annoyed.
He was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Like,
none of my serious are going to go down here and win the game.
I know.
Just like, all right, this is like just like last week. What are we doing here? Like, just finish this dang game so we can get out of here, right?
Right.
But it was more of an annoyance with me with this game closing, because this is a trend now, right? What they say? Not fool me once, but one time. What's the saying?
It's a mistake. Two times, incident. 3 times becomes a habit.
It becomes a habit. This is becoming a habit, specifically on the road. Definitely since the bye week, right?
And the blessings have been what? That you've played.
You played some terrible quarterbacks.
You played some really bad quarterbacks, right? You played some subpar quarterbacks, bad quarterbacks, whatever you want to call them. You didn't play good quarterbacks in that time frame. And again, to me that is the ultimate concerning part is that you are struggling.
Let's get to some silver linings, though.
Okay, we'll do that.
This feels like we lost the game here, and because we're looking big picture, and I get it. I don't want y'all to think we Debbie Downers or anything like that. We just like to get that out the way,
right?
Because similar to the Washington game, coming out of that game, the way it ended, it left a bad taste in your mouth. Mm-hmm. So how could I come on here and not tell you what I'm tasting, right? And similar to the end of this game, it left a bad taste in our mouth. So the first thing we want to get out is, hey, man, this is what I mean, this ain't a good taste. Like. I don't like the way this tastes. Now that bitterness is starting to go away a little bit. What I did like coming out of this game, or the silver lining coming out of this game, I should say, one thing I left out was we had issues on third down. For a while, they were 8 for 14. That's something positive to come out. We had issues moving the ball up and down the field on a consistent basis in a little bit. And I thought they did that. But most importantly, you came out of this game on a 3-game win streak, 3-0. Now you go back home on this 2-game stand with a chance to A, clinch the division. Yep. B, possibly clinch the 2 or 3 seed. I don't know what's going to happen as we watch here. Hold up. Ravens-Packers here. I'm not saying an upset or anything like that, but as we watch the Ravens-Packers and then you got the Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, something may happen here. Potential for number 2 or number 1 seed. But, there's no doubt about it, man. Coming out of the game, it's really hard to come over on here and rah-rah, right?
Right.
There's not much to rah. When we thought it would be a get-right game. But the defense, I mean, I can't speak enough about the defense, and then I'd be remiss if I didn't leave this out. The run game. I thought it found some good rhythm and efficiency in the run game. You look at Tony Pollard had 12 carries for 74 yards. Zeke, 16 carries, 52 yards. 30 carries total for 125 yards and a touchdown. I thought the run game looked good today. With Connor Williams back in there, they were back and forth with Steele and Tide and Secchi.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with that next week. But if I'm going to have my defense be the way it is, I need to see the run game get back to that. So that's part of the silver lining as well. But they do have a lot of things to clean up moving forward, Jesse.
And I think my silver lining is kind of piggybacking off you a little bit that this defense has been so good with turnovers.
Oh, last 3 games.
They have been extreme, like, and they have done exactly what you want them to do. We didn't know, we didn't know what Tank was going to be coming off such a long stretch of being injured, and he is playing back to like contract Tank type football. Remember that Tank?
Something to prove, Tank.
You know what I'm saying? That Tank that was trying to get that money, and he was playing. He's playing to run well.
He hear the people.
Yeah, he definitely does. He's playing to run well. He's playing to pass well. I mean, he's creating turnovers. I mean, today he was in a zone today where he had his hand in on a bunch of different things happening. Of course, Randy's playing well. Neville Gallimore showed up in his spots. We didn't hear a lot today
Think
from
about this, Micah.
Right, I was just ready to say we didn't hear a lot today from Micah. Like he didn't have those Micah splash plays, those wow plays. And when you can have a situation like that where he's not having those boom Micah moments, go to Micah moments now. Like when he's not having those Micah moments,
not a mojo moment.
A Micah moment. But when you're not having a Micah moment and your defense is still able to go out there and create Tank with the peanut punch out on Saquon Barkley, who's a guy who historically is not a fumbler. 3 fumbles in his entire career. 2 of them happened this year. So he's not a guy who fumbles the ball a lot. Tank, again, hitting the quarterback's arm for the Jordan Lewis interception. Hooker got an interception. Of course, the ball seems to always find Trevon Diggs. And so guys were just playing their parts today, and that's the one thing for me that has been encouraging is that this defense has been super opportunistic. And when you talk about having 3 levels of competent football players and competent playmakers.
Go beyond that. Beyond
4
competent.
layers? Oh, I was like, we can't go. I was like, wait, did I miss something?
I was like,
wait a second. I was like, go beyond. I was like, wait, do we have more than? I'm like,
no, beyond competent.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I think they have 3 layers of playmakers.
I like it. I'll go with that. I'm riding with you. I'm buckling in.
Yeah, you there?
Boom, I'm in. I'm in.
You know that I feel like if I can get playmakers at each level of my defense, you are trending towards being I hate to use a term. Great or whatever, but you're trending to being a defense that you can win a championship with.
Yes.
I try to make sure I choose my words right. You have that. You have multiple playmakers up front. You got Micah Parsons at the second level, and then you have a plethora of guys, J-Ron Kearse and Trayvon Diggs. We see Malik Hooker step up today, make a play.
J-Ron has earned himself, I'm telling you, bro.
He better be back. I swear.
He's earned himself some dollars, bro. Like, he's earned himself some cheddar.
I think it's Randy. Than J-Ron. Like, that was my – if I'm losing the LVE, if I'm losing Gallup, if I'm losing Cedric Wilson, if I'm losing Keanu, I don't care. If I bring those 2 guys back, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Like,
I'm not mad at you at all, but I think I had a chance to interview J-Ron a couple weeks ago, and just his cool, calm demeanor is something – and he said, like, you know, the guy sitting here talking to y'all is a different guy that when I get on the field.
Clear.
Yeah, he's like, because when I'm on the field, this switch goes off and I become this madman.
It's clear.
But off the field, I'm chill. I'm cool. And I think he's done a ton for a guy who just got to this football team and has immersed himself as one of the leaders of this football team. And not only off the field, but his play has been able to say, hey, you know what? When I talk, you listen.
That's why they can listen, because he's making plays, right?
Absolutely.
You can't be a guy out there rah-rah and you trash, right? No one's going – I mean, we're humans. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to listen to you. But J-Ron Kearse, 6 tackles today, 5 of them were solo. Keanu Neal and KZ actually led the team today with 7 tackles. And then Anthony Brown and DeMarcus Lawrence behind Kearse with 5 tackles. And in the sack department, I think there was only 1 sack. Yep, 1 sack, and it was Neville Gallimore, and they credited Dorrance Armstrong for the half sack apiece. So the sack numbers weren't crazy today. I mean, I don't know why. I have to go back and look. I thought there was great pressure, though. A lot of the actual interceptions came on the pressures. I had joked on Friday that, you know, we get 8 sacks and multiple interceptions. Halfway there.
You got halfway there.
We got 4 interceptions. There. Was it 4?
Yeah, 3.
3. Okay, so 3 interceptions and a fumble, and only one turnover. But I don't want to do this to you right after this game. I mean, against this offense. But do you think about it more though? I said in the pregame, Could this be a team that is changing that tide heading into this? This is not fair, though.
No. But when you said it to me in the pregame show, I thought about it all through the game.
Okay.
And nothing offensively got me to move from to. You know what? He's right. So I am again. I'm not. No. Listen, because
I ain't start the car up yet though. We in the car.
All right. Well, I'm like, yo, I'll meet you at the car. I'm meeting you at the car.
Shotgun.
Of course I'm shotgun. I'm too
Okay.
big to be put in the back.
All right.
But I'm like, you like, yo, we about to roll. I'm like, I'll meet you at the car. I'm that point. I'm looking for my wallet and my coat.
We still waiting for my boy that said he was around the corner though. You know what I mean? That's
Okay,
offense.
yeah.
We still
Yeah,
waiting
okay.
for the offense that's around the
Is
corner.
that you're like, I'm right there.
Yo, I'm right around the corner, but they really like 15 minutes away.
I always say, is that a black 5 or a white 5? People
black
like,
five.
y'all have 5 minutes away. I'm like,
Listen,
a black 5 or a white 5?
This offense seems like it's a black 5.
It's a black 5. So they about 40 minutes away. They about 40 minutes. They just left the house. They about 40 minutes away.
We ain't got. We already on PT time, so we late as is. It's December. We already late, and my man said he 5 minutes away, and you ain't 5 minutes. You about 15 away. Y'all playing.
You about 15 from leaving the house.
Right. So I'm already in this car, man. I done bought the vehicle this past week.
Where you get it from?
Freeman Mazda, okay? I got I got the Freeman Mazda. I mean, make sure y'all check it out. FreemanMazda.net. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty. I had that.
I got my cool new 2022 Mazda C6. I'm not gonna call it the CX6. They got me for that one. And the Mazda C6, and I called Jesse up and I said, "Yo, I got this theory that might be happening right now. You down?" Jesse was like, "I don't know," but I had to hit him back up,
Right.
and say, "Listen, man, I'm about to be out.
Right.
The ride about to leave. Are y'all down with this? May be a defensive team heading into this thing." And
I hit you back like, yo, you still rolling? You're like, yeah, I'm around the corner. I'm like, I'm getting my coat. I'm getting my coat. I'm getting my coat to the point where I'm riding.
the key in the ignition.
I'm getting my coat.
Okay, all right.
I'm getting my coat.
I'm just saying, and don't get it twisted. The Mazda 6 is a smooth ride.
It is a smooth.
It could be a smooth ride if that run game come with me.
Oof.
All I need is the run game to come with me, and hey, I'll be chilling, But if the run game don't come with me, and the way the offense is playing, well, at least the passing game and your quarterback and the offensive, which again, I'm not even, and I said this, I'm not even upset with the way Dak played today. It was 28 for 37, 217. The most thing I was upset about was that sack at the end. I don't understand why he didn't feel like he had Carter coming. I didn't like the red zone stuff. I didn't like some of the play call stuff. But this is more than just looking at the Giants game, right? This is more over the last 68 weeks. If we're going to play this on offense, I don't think they're going to be – I think we're going to dip.
Yeah.
I don't think they're coming.
And the thing about Dak is that not that he played bad, but what I'm starting to see a lot with Dak is his processing – his processing is going back to like early Dak career when things took a little bit longer to process, and the reads for me is
I
like
know what I meant to tell you about that.
Oh, I'm listening.
I wonder because somebody on, I think it was one of the broadcasts said, it might have even been 105.3. Remember how we were wondering what the heck is up with Patrick Mahomes earlier in the year, and then we find out teams are playing them differently and making Patrick Mahomes process things longer, making him hold the ball. We're playing two back. We're not allowing you to get these deep shots. And the offense was trying to find its way. Well, teams are doing that now to Dallas. They're not saying, we're not letting you get these easy deep balls. You got Cooper, you got Lamb, you got CD. We're not letting you get these easy one-on-ones. We're going to make you get through your reads. And two things are what they say, multiple things can happen on a pass. A sack, a fumble, or an incomplete pass, or an interception. Mm-hmm. And we saw that happen today, right? We saw him have to go through all these reads and check it down. MVP. Schultz was MVP today because they're not allowing you to get anything deep. And then I don't know if the wind took that ball or not, but there was one shot deep, and that thing just died on him and went underneath in an incomplete pass. But I think teams, and I keep saying this because I do think this is the blueprint, Jesse. We joked around about it over there at AT&T Stadium against the Broncos. That wasn't the blueprint. I think the blueprint is your run game can't beat me. So, therefore, run the ball for, what did they have, 100-something yards? 125 yards today. Run the ball for 125 yards. I'm not letting y'all air it out. I'm going to make you matriculate down the field and have to beat me in the red zone. Sure, they matriculated, but we did not convert in the red zone. So, if I'm still at this way of thinking, y'all, if I'm a defensive coordinator, with the way the offense is playing, I'm not loading up the box ever. I'm just going to say, unless it's 3rd and 1 type thing or it's
Right.
3rd and short, I'm just going to say, Dak, Kellen, y'all beat me all damn game down this field. I guarantee you at some point somebody's going to mess up. And you had a potential interceptions with I think it was one that hit somebody's helmet, and then you had the sack fumble. So I think that's the blueprint. If there's a blueprint, that's the buzzword. That's the blueprint.
Yeah, and
because it's not clicking as fast as it was earlier.
But my thing is with Dak is we're talking about a dude being in year 6, right? Like we're talking about a dude being in year 6 who's seen a ton of football where the processing shouldn't be. And I'm not taking from what you said. Well, Patrick Mahomes said this and Patrick Mahomes said that. I think when it came down to an intelligence factor, I think Dak was far ahead of what Patrick Mahomes was intelligently. I mean, we heard Patrick Mahomes after his second.
I'm not knocking his IQ, Patty's IQ. I'm more saying I think.
But
the
I am.
scheme.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
I was about to say, I don't want
because no, but I am.
Okay.
I'm saying that I am because Patrick Mahomes came out and said, "Y'all know my first year I didn't know how to read defense." Right? Like he said that. It wasn't like he's not a smart dude, but the processing part of being able to come to the line of scrimmage and actually read a defense and actually know where the ball's strategically supposed to go, not where you want it to go, where the ball is actually supposed to go, depending upon how the defense is playing. Patrick Mahomes came out right and said, my first year I actually started, I did not know how to read defenses.
I'm talking about now. Patrick Mahomes in year 4.
Right.
This is more a schematic thing.
And what I'm saying is that for me, a guy like, even still now, I still think Dak is I think Dak is a more cerebral player than Patrick Mahomes. I do. I think Dak is a much more cerebral player.
Sure.
He doesn't have the arm talent. Not too many quarterbacks in the National Football League has that type of arm talent. But cerebral, I think Dak is a more cerebral player than Patrick Mahomes. And so when you say that teams are playing him differently,
not him,
the team. The offense.
And that's where I want to get to.
The offense. When you say him or the team or whoever you want to say it, you're saying him because they say Patrick Mahomes, whatever it is. But when you say they're playing the team differently, I look at it as a situation where I'm saying, as a cerebral player, Dak needs to be better in breaking down. Because like when you look like today, the New York Giants, like he had some reads today that was like, wait, that was late. That was off. Now he had some receivers who dropped the ball.
I was about to say we had 3 drops.
No, absolutely. Yeah. But we talked about like on the over route, we was like, he's open, and he still didn't throw it. Or the one to Amari Cooper that got tipped, right? He was open, and it took him forever to process to kind of see where he was actually coming from, and that to me was something I was just like.
So see, where I'm getting at is I'm not. This isn't a knock on Dak. Is what I'm coming at. This is more, and that's why I say use the term schematic. We have seen the Chiefs adjust to the way they've been played. What did you say during the game?
Right, but
y'all want to play us like this?
But not only
we're going to do this.
Right, the Chiefs adjusted, but Patrick still had to adjust. There still had to be a Patrick.
He might be still adjusting.
Right, so I'm saying there had to be an adjustment from the guy who actually has the ball last in his hands. No matter what Eric Bieniemy, no matter what Andy Reid does, at the end of the day, because
that matters.
Oh, no. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy should sit in the film room, in the meeting rooms, and however many rooms you want to sit in with these guys and break these things down. But at the end of the day, when they get on the field, it's still up to Patrick Mahomes. Despite what we practiced or worked on or talked about or reviewed or looked over or whatever, it's at the end of the day, when Patty goes hot and the ball is in his hands, I now have to trust that what we talked about, all these things that we practiced and we worked on, that now it reciprocates onto the football field, and he makes the right decision to put us, as a team offensively, in the best possible situation to win.
I'm going to take that as a grand scheme of things with that, because today they were fine between the 20s. It literally came down to the red zone. And I don't think they were fine between the 20s last week, even though they got down there 6 times. It still was very herky-jerky. But I think overall that is the point, right, where your quarterback is and even your OC are not on the same page.
But you can that's a collection of stuff, right? So we package up what happened last week.
Right.
We package up what happened this week.
This week isn't really – it's overall.
But there's a lot in that. Like that adds to the mix of this thing offensively isn't right.
No. I mean, I've been saying that for 6 weeks.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just
whatever. It's been 8 weeks.
It was one thing last week, and now it's another thing this week.
No, it's the same thing this week.
Well, okay, so then there's some sort of miscommunication that's happening between Kellen, Mike, Dak, Mike, Kellen, Mike, Dak, Kellen. However you want to put that from meeting room.
I'm gonna be flat out. I personally don't think. I think the Cowboys have a very great collection of players. I don't think they have a great scheme. So when you don't have a great scheme and you get on the other side of the field, you get great coordinators, right?
So, but what happened? What happened the first 6 weeks of the season?
Exactly what your boy said.
It was just good players out there just playing well. No scheme, no nothing.
Here's my theory, by the way. Which let me press my button here. Here's my theory.
This is a great conversation, by the way.
I think what happens is, and this is why I said that with the Kellen Moore thing, you really can tell who a player is or a coach is when things aren't going their way, right? How can you adapt, right? And I think what's happening is this scheme really isn't that difficult to defend. And your boys, this is what he said. He didn't say blueprint. And I think you talked about it on your show. He said teams aren't playing the Cowboys the right way.
Yep.
And I don't think that was indicative of Zeke or Dak or the line or anything like that. I think it was indicative of how the Cowboys play. And if you can take away a certain aspect of this vertical offense and make them have to do things underneath, I said this on my show, I don't think this offense has a great short to intermediate passing game. I don't think they do.
I have to argue that in the sense of that's what this offense was early in Dak's career. It was a short to intermediate offense.
Wait.
This was not a vertical offense early.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But earlier, you mean like 2016?
I'm talking 16, 17. Now they had a much better running game back then.
Well, 16, that's an outlier, right? Like
okay, that's fine. But for the most part, even especially under Jason Garrett, Jason Garrett was never a vertical coach. He would take shots and things would be there. And when I played with Tony Romo played, he would audible into a lot of those things.
Tony was trying to get them boys down the field.
Absolutely. but a large majority, and this was the argument. The argument for it before Dak got his contract was, is he worth the whatever the number was, or is he a glorified bus driver? Because you're like, he doesn't take any shots. Everything is intermediate or short passing game. Like that was
a myth.
But that was
Dak because of national television.
That was the narrative of what they used to do and how this offense used to run.
That was a myth, though. That was clearly busted, and this man took shots, and he was one of the better deep-throwing quarterbacks in the league.
Okay, I'm not saying that he did not take shots.
Right.
Like for example, you would call the Chiefs' offense in his prime an explosive offense who takes splash plays, 20-plus plays down the field more often.
I totally wish we had a Chiefs kind of offense right now.
The new Chiefs offense, right? Like there's certain teams. Like the Cowboys don't like when the Chiefs were kind of just doing their Chiefs things. I mean, they were 10, 11, 12 shots a game,
even
plus 20 yards.
Smith, they were doing that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was their. To me, that's an explosive type offense. Aaron Rodgers in that type group is an explosive. They're going to take their shots down the field.
Shoot, even that, and this is the word. I'm glad I'm.
The Chargers are a type of explosive type offense.
This is
the Rams.
This is the word I found. The controlled passing game is what they call it.
Okay.
The controlled passing game, I think, in Dallas is not that good. I think it's a whole lot of, and I made a joke about Dalton Schultz, even though he was the MVP of the game. It's a lot of Jason Witten type stuff, like run, turn around, catch it, make sure you consider it, and fall down.
Right.
I don't know if we don't have, I don't know. I know we don't have the Tyreek type guys, right, where you can get it to them quick and they can do fun things like that. And that's why I said I would love to have a Chiefs type offense because they do have an elite short to intermediate game. A lot of their throws are at line of scrimmage or right past line of scrimmage to get the ball to the playmaker hands and make moves. I don't know that Dallas has. I mean, we saw the Giants have a great play, a great rub that got their man wide open, but a terrible quarterback. That doesn't seem to be in the Cowboys' repertoire, right? It's more or less hooks, beat your man one-on-one. If it's not one-on-one, there's a safety over top, so that's gone, right? So I think it's easier than we think, and it's clearly showing, to defend this offense to make it more difficult on them, right?
Yeah.
I just think it is, and that then puts pressure on your Q. Now I need you, Dak, to overcome that, and I don't think he's been able to do that. So you got a scheme I don't think is that great, and now you got a quarterback that hasn't adjusted to it, or offensive coordinator combination, right? I guess that could be one that hasn't adjusted to it greatly. And I truly 100% believe if they go into this postseason not being able to adjust, listen, I love my skill players. I love my quarterback. I don't believe they can get it done this way, Jesse.
Amari Cooper had 2 catches today. That's unacceptable.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's unacceptable. Like, Amari Cooper had 2 catches. Jerry Sprinkle had more catches than yards. He had just the amount of catches in yards. He had more yards than Amari Cooper.
I mean, Gallup only had 3.
Gallup only had 3.
Now, Lamb got featured in Schultz because Lamb and Schultz are your middle of the field guys, right?
And CD dropped 3 of them.
He dropped them. Oh, yeah, he definitely dropped them. Yeah.
3 or 4 of them today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
ultimately, I do think
this team. I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's cool. Go ahead. This is off the cuff.
This is an open conversation. This team, and you said it earlier, when you talk about the names, this team is offensively far too talented to struggle with the Cowboys, struggle with the Giants in the red zone. This team is like from the quarterback position to the offense. And I don't like. I know
they hurt.
Like I get Tyron Smith, but we have had an embarrassment of riches. Like, this offensive line would be welcomed by 31 other teams, maybe not the Colts. They'll probably keep their offensive line. But there are a number of – you think the Giants wouldn't take our offensive line today? They would give everybody up on their offensive line for our offensive line in a heartbeat, like man for man. There are a ton of teams that are looking and saying, wait, you got Coop, Michael, CD,
and that's what.
And you're starting to add Dalton Schultz into the mix.
Goodness.
You got Tony. Like, there is an embarrassment of riches on this football team, and you have top 5, 10 quarterback, whatever you want to put him at.
Franchise Q.
You got to what are we doing?
This is
like, at this point in time, what are we doing?
Is it as simple as getting better in the red zone?
Hell yeah, touchdowns matter. We were 2 for 5 today. If we were 4 for 5 today, this game we'd be up 30 to nothing.
It'd be 40 burger or something, right? Like, and how do you? I'm not trying to act because you know more obviously, and you've been in the locker room, things like that. But
don't give me that much credit.
I'm just saying.
Not that bright.
I don't want to make it seem like it's that as simple as maybe not throw a screen pass every 3 times.
Yeah, it's that simple. It's that simple.
Maybe not run a 3rd and 7 draw.
Like, hey, let's not throw the screen pass to the guy who has a knee brace on.
Maybe not motion Ezekiel. There's literally now vividly in my head, I remember 4 plays over the last 2 weeks in the red zone where Ezekiel Elliott is out wide. Guess how many touchdowns occurred on those plays?
None.
0. So, I'm not trying to – I know football can be – X's and O's can be very complicated, but –
It's very simple.
Is it that simple to get?
It is. It's simple.
You see my tweet? I said, oh, wow. Cowboys used the KISS method in the red zone. They scored a touchdown.
Right.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
What did they do when they scored the 2nd touchdown? Run the ball. Zeke gets down to like the 5. Run the ball. Zeke gets down to the 2. Play action. Tight end comes to the back. That's basic football that has produced touchdowns for the Dallas Cowboys for years. And we were going away from that in the red zone to do what? Send out 21, run a screen. Send out 19, get your guys over, run a screen. 3rd and 7, too many 3rd and 7 weird calls. Like, you don't have a quarterback that can complete a pass. I don't have an answer, but I do see a problem, and I need to know how can we fix it. Is it as simple as just keep it simple?
Yeah, it is. It's
understand
the thing is that it's very simple. It's to the point where
turned into a podcast.
Like, hey guys, get the ball to the players who can actually do something with it. In a position that they can do something with it. Like, again, I don't need Zeke out +2 outside the numbers in the red zone. What are we doing here, fellas?
I don't
like,
know.
why are we running this out? So we as humans at times make this game very complicated. And when it shouldn't have to be. It's like, hey, oh yeah, let's turn around and hand it off to this guy when we're on the 3-yard line. Like, let's do that.
Or do your traditional play action. That play action there it makes the most sense. Like, I totally understand that.
Or we see a trend in the league now. hey, how about when you can motion CD across really, really, really fast and just have him on a quick little out route and just give it to him right now. You know what I'm saying? We call it the Jerry Rice pass. It's a West Coast offense concept, but he comes in motion quick. They do it all across the league.
I don't know, man. I don't
Or
know.
the play that you said earlier in the game when we're booting out and the tight end blocks, and then turns and he's right there. Like,
did we see it ever again?
No.
Okay. And I said Andy Reid does that at least 3-4 times a game, Jesse.
Yeah.
You know, so I still believe, but I ain't gonna hold you. I believe collectively over the last 6 to 8 weeks, this has been a collective effort from your play caller down to your quarterback to your offensive line to the running backs and receivers. Right? I feel like it's been a collective effort. I do wonder if I cut. I can't cut some of the players slack because they dropped the ball too. But red zone wise, I wonder if I can cut them a little slack because I feel like it was just terribly called down there today. I do. I feel like it was terribly called. And when it wasn't, when it was simple, what they do?
Score.
I mean, that's just there. But I still think because this conversation is more about what has been happening as opposed to just today, right? I mean, today is included in that kind of
Today is a
grouping.
Microcosm of the overall struggles that they've had offensively,
and
both
that's what we're talking
in the
about,
field and more recently in the red zone.
So I'm saying, keys in that ignition.
I got my coat.
Okay. It's winter, too. You know, I know we in Texas, and it's
I
70
got
degrees
my coat.
next week, but bring the coat just in case.
I got it.
You know what I'm saying?
I got it. Better to have it not need than need to not have.
Facts. So, listen, they got this next two-game homestand to kind of get something together because you're going to get your little home game. Get your little home game on the opening round, and I'm not dismissing that because you could end up playing a team. You're going to need that offense. You're going to need them. But
and styles makes fights. Even though you have a home game, you might have you might have, you know, 49ers come in here.
It's going to be
gritty. That might be a style that just, you know what, for that day.
Well, you better get up on them.
Fast surface, indoors. Like we think, and that's the funny thing as well, is the Cowboys having a home game, the advantage. See, like going to Lambeau in January, advantage Green Bay. Going to Kansas City in January, going to certain places, like those cold places, advantage. I don't know if we actually have and that's probably another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
I don't know, does it play in our favor or does it hurt us because we play in a dome on a fast surface indoors?
I'm more so talking offense, though. I think it helps the Cowboys be at home offensively.
Okay.
Overall, that's a dang on. That's an attraction,
right?
You know,
but teams come in and they go, "Oh, we don't have no rain, no wind, no nothing.
Yeah,
fast surface. We can get our stuff off." And honestly, and I know Cowboy fans are gonna be like, "Whatever, Jesse." There is not a home field advantage when it comes to crowd noise.
Actual advantage
in AT&T.
It's not a Seattle advantage. It's not
a Kansas City or New Orleans
Lambeau,
or no.
You hope though, right? That Cowboys Nation comes out, shows out, and it's stupid loud in there, things like that. But you know what can quiet that down?
Good luck.
A touchdown to the other team, right? or going down 10-0, and now you're getting in a dogfight. But I'm more so saying your offense, I think, will be at that game, quote unquote, right? If it's at home, because that's what they've been doing at home sans one game, which was the Denver game where everything was terrible. But overall, it's not nearly an advantage as those other stadiums. So, sure, you'll get your little home game with your offense. You better hope your defense brings its bags as well in that home game. But like you said, you may have to go on the road 2 times.
And I'm with you. I think this thing is flipping. I think this team is now becoming a defensive team. Like, defensive part of it needs to start saying, you know what, hey, guys, I know that you guys were the leader in the clubhouse before.
I mean, it feels like they're already saying that.
Like, we run this, dog.
If you go look at the what's that called, sides and sideline?
Yeah.
When Dak threw the pick six, not the pick six. Was it the pick six? I think it was the pick six or something. Yeah, I think it was something like that. My man picked up his helmet and was like, all right, let's go get it.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't even phased. It was like, yo, we're going to go out here and win the game. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to having this pressure on them and, oh, man, they were just like, whatever. We know this is our thing now.
Yeah.
Or at least in this stretch, it's their thing. So, all right, like I said, man, they got 2 games to me, 3 games total technically, but that last game may be one of those.
Throwaways.
To get in this vehicle. Because it's about to start up, and I'm about to go into this thing stating that this is a team now that needs to pack its defense and its running game and limit the turnovers offensively. Even if the run game is not wildly successful, right? I don't need you to rush for 170, but if you rush enough to make sure that the time of possession and you convert on 3rd down, right? And you I mean, this game really, if they convert in the red zone, is kind of how the team may have to play, right? You didn't throw the ball for a ton of yards.
Nope.
217 yards. But you were technically efficient. 28 for 37 is an efficient day through the air. And if you catch the damn ball, you're looking at maybe 30 for 37, 31 for 37, right? Ran the ball 30 times, 125. Get a touch. If you close in the red zone, this may be how you need to win in the playoff. And maybe that is how you win in the playoff. Bring your defense, efficient run game, efficient in the pass game, as opposed to this fireworks show. Fireworks is over. I don't know if the fireworks is coming back the way I'm seeing. I hope I'm wrong, Cowboys Nation, but right now the confidence level in that returning is very slim. I'm gonna just be real.
I know I'm with you 100% because there is definitely a disconnect. It is evident. It is clear that there is something that's not happening between Mike, Kellen, and Dak, and it's not translating to the football field. I don't know. And it could be multi-layered. It could be that Kellen has gotten into a place where he doesn't have a scheme, he has a collection of plays, or because the offensive line is ever changing and there's no continuity, or because the run game is injured and doesn't have the burst and the continuity that it needs, or the quarterback is just having some struggles in between his head and between his ears about where to deliver the football. I mean, this is a multi-layered thing that is happening. And then you go on top of that where your receivers are dropping the football or not in the right place. I mean, this is –
You can't have all these
You can't
things.
all at the same time.
That, right? Yeah.
And they're happening at the same time. Like, literally, the drops, the run game is not there. The mental part, the play calling, the offensive line.
You can't have it all.
It ain't happening like 1, 2, 3. It's like, yo, everything.
Yeah,
going wrong.
Not in December.
No.
Not in December. And you want to see this thing kind of get on the roll here. And I don't know how many times I'm going to keep saying it, but like I said, that's why I started the car up. Or not started the car, but I got the car. Because I'm at the point where, listen, man, because at the end of the day, no one just win the Super Bowl, right? Like, I don't think anybody's going to complain if you win the Super Bowl 21-6 in this manner. But at the end of the day, that's what you want to get to. We just, I think, or at least me, bro, I am kind of shocked and taken back because I thought this would be an offensive-driven team heading into the playoffs with the defense just needing to be okay, but it's flipped.
It's flipped.
And most franchises would not be we wouldn't care, right? It'd just be like, oh, all right, cool. We got an offense that does just enough, and the defense, that's great. But we're so used to being offensively driven, and I think we still have some trust issues, right? Like, I mean, is the defense really there? Do we really know? I feel confident in it, but we got to go see him do it to McVay and go do it to Aaron and go do it to Tom and things like that, right?
Yeah, no, I
in
agree.
the playoffs,
Yep.
right? Whereas we figured, okay, well, at least we got the offense. So it's flipped, ladies and gentlemen, and, you know, we'll talk about more of it, obviously, this week. This was actually great conversation. We didn't expect to be on here long, but
No.
we went long. Hope y'all enjoyed the post-game show presented by Freeman Mazda. It's so dead quiet behind us. It's kind of eerie. Gonna hold you, man. Gonna hold you. But it was good getting my guy back, man, because these are the conversations I love to have with you about football. And then, like I said, just to have you here, man, your energy and spirit and things like that, bro.
No,
it was
I
awesome having
appreciate
you back.
you. Man, thank you. I'm glad to be back. I'm happy to be back. Again, thank you to all those who sent messages and concerns. And
They definitely was looking for you, man.
All of it. And so I'm getting better.
That's good.
I'm battling every day and getting better, and I'll get more into it at a later date of all the things that transpire. But I'm getting better, and I'm battling every single day, man. And so today was therapeutic.
That's great.
To be able to get back in the saddle and to do what I love to do is to hang out with you, watch football game with you and with Nick and the fans, and then break it down.
Yeah.
And so that was therapeutic, and I was nervous. I was nervous of what it would be and how it would be, but yeah.
It came natural, though. As soon as you put that headset on, it just flew right out.
Trust me, what it looked like on the outside, what it felt like on the inside. But I'm thankful.
But you won, though.
I'm winning. I'm winning
today, and you won
winning today. So, yeah, I'll take that.
You know what I mean?
I'll take that. I'll take that dub any way we can get it. 21-6.
Garrettism, right? We're going to stack good days on top of each other, right?
I'm stacking my good days on top of each other.
Stack good days on top of each other, man. With that said, I'm going to press this button, man. I'm going to press this button. And hopefully the Dallas Cowboys continue to stack good days and good wins.
Dalton Schultz, you come to the cookout. To the cookout, to the dinner.
We're going to have a cookout.
Okay, all right. Dalton Schultz, you get the big piece of chicken.
Listen, the family meeting happened just now.
Yeah.
So We celebrate tomorrow. I'm not 21-6. We got the dub 10-4 chance to secure this thing next week, y'all.
Yeah.
We out of here. Love you.
See you.
Peace.